Let me check to see if we are live. Not quite yet, but we will be. Let's do this. Hold on. Yeah, got that up. We're good there. I'll wait for a couple of people to get on in. This is, of course, the comment show. Let's see who's first to type in there. And that would be Lou. What's up, Lou? Nice to have you in here, man. You are first. I don't have any prizes for you this week, other than to say that you are the first. Welcome on in. Appreciate you being in here. Hope you're having a great weekend. We'll start here in just a second. Amy Gonzalez, welcome on in. Dana Judd, actually you're third. Amy snuck in there right before you, Dana. But you're here. Welcome, all three of you. Hit the like button for me if you wouldn't mind. We'll get started here in just a minute. Got an interesting show for you all today. Some updates, all kinds of stuff. Yes, Fab Daddy is fourth. What's up, Fab Daddy? Hope you're having a great weekend as well. I believe we're going to have a great show today. It's a glorious weekend here. It's about 45 degrees in the Mile High City. So it's probably going to be in the 60s today, which is the first time it's hit the 60s in a long time here. So looking forward to that. It's a beautiful sunny day, partly cloudy. Hope the weather is good where you guys are and gals. We are going to have, I think this is going to be one of the best comment shows ever, even though it's a little bit early. I'm a little tired because normally I don't start this early. Rich Motorshaw, welcome from the UK. Nice to have you in here. Make sure you guys and gals hit that like button. It does help bring people into the algorithm. I know you've heard that 50 million times from 50 million other channels, but it does. It's cloudy in law. I like to say law, Amy, like for LA, law. I don't know why. I'm a goofball probably. But yes, usually the weather's really nice in Los Angeles, but I heard you guys got a little dusting of snow this past week, I believe, which is highly unusual for California. Okay. I'm gonna let this breathe for a minute or two. Let's get a couple more people in here, and then we'll get started. Because I think this is gonna be one of the best comment shows ever. Raining and cold in Chester, UK. Rich Motorshaw, isn't it normally the case? I always picture the UK to be, daft and dreary and rainy and, about probably 75% of the time. I'm probably way off, Rich. I'm probably way off on that. It's probably lovely over there, but I always have this preconceived notion that England is usually raining and dreary and cloudy and, stuff like that. Just the stereotypical type stuff. So I'm right. There is something to that. Like Seattle has that type of weather, a lot of rainy, dreary days, and the suicide rate in Seattle is out of control. So I can imagine over there. Good morning, Ellie. Nice to have you in here. The first mod in here. We're going to go ahead and get started since I have a mod in here, but I think this is going to be an interesting show for you guys, for sure. I think this might be one of the best ones yet, but let's see how it goes. Let's get started. Okay, welcome everybody to the MLH Comment Show. I, of course, am MLH. It is the 11th of March. I believe it's the 11th if I'm wrong. Somebody will correct me in chat. 2023. We're going to have a good one today, I think. And no, it is not noonish. I know I put, well, I mean, it's noonish depending on where you're at, Ellie. See, that's the thing. It's noon somewhere or noonish somewhere. And I have no idea where everybody's at. I mean, I know that Amy is in law, as I call it, or LA. So it's a little bit earlier for her. But you know, if there's anybody on the East Coast, I mean, they're semi close to noon. I wanted to do it a little bit early today because I've got stuff to do, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So why don't we get started here? I wanted to get started a little early because like I said, I have some stuff to do. Plus, it allows people that aren't normally in the comment show a chance to get on in. So, 3:42 p.m. in Chester. Close enough, Rich. I mean, you get my point, man. It's close enough, man. All right. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hopefully, you guys can see it. Actually, I can probably make it a little bit bigger for y'all so we can take a look at the comments here. Let's see. Let's see if we can make it a little more able for you guys to read. Let's not do that. Oh, there we go. That should be a little bit better for you guys. So there you go. Okay, let's start at the bottom here. Blue Unicorn. 6 days ago on the last comment show says, I was sleeping. Well, if you were sleeping last week, Blue Unicorn, you're probably sleeping this week. It's a little early. It's a little early for me to do the show, actually. I actually, when I put noonish, usually it's noonish because I do stuff before I even get on this show. But today it was just straight to business. So that's what we're doing. Blue Unicorn says at 5:49 of the last comment show, I'm approaching not that many. I'm assuming you're talking about your age. I never really go back and listen to the comment show. I have a hard time listening to my own voice. I mean, and Ellie, no snark. I know you have a hard time listening to my voice, period. But you know what I'm saying. Okay, Nez Lover on the same comment show last week gave a bunch of emojis. Thank you very much, Nez. I appreciate you and your art. Very talented artist. All right, now this is an interesting comment here. It's very, very tiny, but it's a video I did way back when, and it was a good video that I had with an officer named Saxelby, and the title of the video was Officer Saxelby Shows the Aurora PD How It Should Be Done. Now, I've encountered Officer Saxelby in Aurora. He's one of the very few. I talk about maybe 5% of the Aurora PD being, quote-unquote good that I know of. Saxelby might be in that 5%. Very professional, good guy. And his brother took the time to comment on his brother. He said, "That's my brother, LOL." You should be proud of your brother, Jace, because every time I've encountered your brother, he's been pleasant. He's given me information. He's, forthcoming, polite, everything that every other officer in Aurora needs to pay attention to and follow. What's Truth? Welcome on in. Nice to have you in here. He says, good morning, Mexican buzz cut. Hope you're well. I don't think I've ever had a buzz cut in my life. What's Truth? So there you go. Good morning, everybody, if I didn't say it already. My good friend DJ K. The Party saw my short driving. And are we back? Jesus. It's going to be one of those streams. I don't know what's going on with this modem. I can do buzz cuts. We can do it for a charity. What's Truth? It would take a lot of money for me to do that. I don't think so. All right, we're back. Okay, so DJ K. The Party, my good friend and colleague, says, "What the hell on this? Not something you see every day." It was a car that was completely turned on its head in a neighborhood, and it was odd, like the positioning. If you guys have seen that short, I have no idea how that car got into that position. It was really, really weird. Did I find a soft spot? No. Dana Judd, am I breaking up? Am I still breaking up? Let me know. Give us one or a two, depending on what's going on the stream. It might be one of those streams. Just hang in the chat. It's gonna be fine. New Jersey Watchman. Good seeing you too. All right, we're good. Okay, cool. If it happens to break up, just stay in chat. It'll pick back up, and I'll pick up where we are. I'm monitoring it. This modem, ever since I got this new modem, it's been doing this type of thing, so it's really weird. All right, Pelone on my 141K for What Now panel, the panel that I did on, and there's going to be updates on this officer, Sergeant Douglas. Kind of reminds me of my drinking days when I drank all morning and nightfall. Nobody wanted to hang around because I would sleep. Thanks for the vid, MLH and KDOT. Keep up the great work. Can't wait to see the rest of this sleepyhead. He's talking about the officer, or Sergeant Douglas, who covered up for Officer Sleepyhead, I called him. So, you know. And for more on that, you guys can check out that panel, and there's going to be more updates. Trust me, there's way more where that came from. I've got more requests in, by the way, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Everyone, if he breaks up again, don't say anything. How dare you, Ellie? You guys got to let me know. Got a response from the state, laughing my ass off. Crazy, NJ Watchman. Oh, I am curious to know what they said, New Jersey. Let's see. I'll name what we thought we need. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's move on to the next comment because I got quite a few. Lou, who's in chat, says thanks for the live stream, MLH. This was the KDOT versus the City Aurora live stream, which I have a feeling is going to be one of those videos that at some point catches fire. Yeah, just good stuff. I mean, anytime I'm with KDOT, we create some really, really great videos. Let me give you your response there. All right, next one on the same video. Johnny Bravo gave a thumbs up. Thanks, Johnny Bravo. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Kelly C on my 141K for What Now. I know my comments don't usually get read, but their legal team's names are online. Need to catch these lives again, but I've been busy. It's all good, Kelly C. And I do try to get as many comments as I can. It's just when I'm in the heat of the moment and when I'm doing something that's involving other people. I mean, I'm not a great multitasker. I do my best on comments, on live streams, on panels, stuff like that, but I try to get your comments as much as possible. If not, you can comment on any video, and your comment will be read on the comment show. So I don't know of anybody that does this. I mean, if you guys can point me to somebody that does a comment show, then more power to them. But I thought this was a really good, unique way of connecting with all of you. Ajot, welcome on into chat and transparency time. Welcome on in here. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday, great weekend so far. I'm having a good one, and today's going to be pretty good. What I'm going to be doing today is, and it's not going to take me all day, but I'm going to look at my script. I reworked my script on the movie that I'll be doing in a couple months here, but I'm going to kind of break down the script and get everything in order, so that way I can film everything I need to film at one location, all in one shot, etc., so I can be as efficient as possible. It's no small task, this movie I'm going to be doing. There's going to be a few scenes that I'm really going to have to get creative and think about how I'm going to shoot them, but I am determined to get this done. So you're the first channel that I've ever seen do something like this. Yeah, see, I mean, I haven't seen one period that does this. So I guess that's good. I'm good for something, right? Transparency time. All right. Pelone on my KDOT versus the City of Aurora video says, MLH and KDOT, keep up the great work. Thank you, Pelone. I appreciate you. You know that. Hope your health is in a good place right now and everything's good. David Hughes on the same video says, do you have to have a visitor badge to be in the city hall now? Okay, now I addressed this in that video I did with the idiot security guard who's still working there. I see him all the time. The answer to your question is no. They can impose whatever stupid rules they believe. Now, KDOT and I have been going to, because for the most part, everybody's been pretty pleasant at City Hall. So we do take the extra time to go get the visitor badge. And that way we're just not, there's no problems, and that's the only reason. But to answer your question, David Hughes, no is the answer. You don't need a visitor's badge to visit there. They want to dictate things like you have to get a visitor's badge, and you have to make an appointment with the city manager or whatever. But the answer to your question is absolutely not. You don't need that to go in there. I do not need a trim, Ellie. And if I do need a trim, I'll ask my son. My son is a hairstylist. So, back to work, NJ Watchman. Okay, love you too, man. Thanks for being on in here. Are you guys having the same issue as Dana? Something wrong with the stream? Only here every fifth. Try refreshing, Dana. Transparency time. That's because MLH likes to read how everybody loves him. Just kidding. This is the way of responding to his followers. It is. It really is. And this is the way that I want to, talk with all of you guys. I mean, I was typing, and that became a bit burdensome on my hands and thumbs. And it was kind of a pain in the ass, and it took a long time. This way, it takes me an hour, and I get to everybody's comments, and there you go. Excuse me. Sorry. All right. Let's move on. Let's give that a thumbs up and a heart. Thank you very much, David Hughes, for your comment. I really do appreciate it. On the same video, Raymond says, call him the info hoarder. He's talking about, I believe he's talking about Sergeant Douglas. Now, I did shorten the video, which I don't normally do, and I'm you know what, I'm really proud of myself, guys, and I'm usually very humble about my videos. I don't do a lot of editing, all that stuff. You guys know how I do things, but I did make a thumbnail that I thought was pretty funny, and it was of Sergeant Douglas, on the Sergeant Makes YouTube History video. It basically, I just took a piece of the live and did a straight up video, and I put a Karen haircut on Sergeant Douglas. I thought it looked funny. I don't know. Right on, Dana. Thanks for refreshing. I mean, I really appreciate that. And thanks for sticking in here. Okay, so yes, that's the info hoarder, Sergeant Douglas. There's more to come on Sergeant Douglas. I mean, I'm gonna have a panel eventually, guys. And I know we've already had one on Sergeant Douglas, but there's a lot to pick apart there. I've asked some very, very good friends. I've consulted with KDOT about it. I'm talking to someone else about a very good friend about the discrepancies in that those files that make for a very, very interesting read. So, I work hard to try and help everyone grow their channel, so please subscribe to all the links I'm posting in chat. We need to show each other love and support. That is absolutely correct, Ellie 100. Sasquatch, welcome on in. He says MLH panel. Nah, fiction. Okay. Good morning, Jonathan. There you go. Let's see. Am I missing? If I missed anybody, shout me out in chat, and I will, we'll get you a shout out. Lois on the same video says the problematic officers are always behind the glass in order to protect the citizens. I think there's some truth in that, Lois. I don't think it's necessarily to protect the citizens. I think it's actually to hide some egregious stuff. And in this case, I mean, there's more to uncover on Sergeant Douglas. We're not done with Sergeant Douglas. He's a special case. And yesterday I was at City Hall, and I almost went searching for Sergeant Douglas to ask him a very specific question, whether or not he had a degree, because there's a discrepancy on his evaluations where, you see this pattern where, he doesn't have a degree, he just high school. Then all of a sudden he has a degree. And it may sound kind of weird, but I think it was either an error in which they need to really correct things, or it's just a straight up fabrication. And in which case that's problematic too. So, there's a lot there. I did, Ajot. I said, what's up, beautiful Ajot? Nice to have you in chat. So there you go. There's your second shout out, Ajot. Boiled Corruption says, how is Bernie? Bernie's doing great, Boiled Corruption. She's super busy. Her job, she's a general manager. And so she's getting, this is only like her second or third week of being a general manager. So there's a steep learning curve. Plus everybody in her store is completely new. So it's really tough for her to train new people on what they're supposed to be doing. Meanwhile, also learning what she's supposed to be learning. So like I said, the learning curve is steep, but she's super sharp. She's very good at what she does. And it's gonna ease out at some point, So there you go. Let's see. I just wanted to hear it again. Well, that's one way of doing it, Ajot. And I don't have any problems shouting people out multiple times. So if you want a little ego boost, or if you just want to hear my voice, Ajot, you just let me know. All right. 517 on the same video says, and by the way, I named this video Sergeant Makes YouTube History. Read the description for a reason. It's because it's the first time I've ever seen a police officer on YouTube. It's kind of a history-making video. Call the manager on himself, or supervisor on himself. So it's a beautiful video. So please watch that one. You don't have to watch the whole live. The live is actually pretty interesting because K-Dot and I have a really, really cool conversation. But if you don't have the time to watch the whole live video, then just watch this Sergeant Makes YouTube History video, and you will see a really cool video. It's the first time that I've seen a police officer call the manager on himself. He just really looks stupid in the video. Toe for Life, is he in here? I didn't see him. If he's in here, what's up, Toe for? Yeah, if you guys, if anybody's near a milestone on as far as subs goes, I take great pride in helping other channels grow. So, I've helped a lot of people get over the hump on certain milestones. So, just let Ellie know. She'll put the link in the chat there. So 517 says, rumor has it that people have started to peacefully protest outside the homes of the police men and women who have not been brought to justice. It seems to be having quite the effect. Strengthen numbers, hold them accountable. What's his address? I am digging, 517. I'm digging. Now, the reason that I don't give out people's addresses is because I don't necessarily want to be the person that is the cause of somebody gaining any physical harm, 517. But your point is well taken. You said peaceful protest. I have no issues with that. If you guys want to do your own digging and do protest, Sergeant Douglas would be a great candidate to protest. He's a shady POS, trust me. I just unsubscribed from Poor Dirt Farmer after all these years. He's gone off the rails. He called for Direct D to be in prison. Dana, you couldn't have done a better thing, and that's where I'll leave that. Let's see. Walter Davis says, nice. Thank you, Walter, for comment. I always appreciate comments. It helps the channel. Anytime I put out a video or a live, I mean, if you guys would just take 2 seconds out of your day, even if it's just an emoji or something, it gives me content to talk about on the comment show, and obviously it helps the algorithm. King Solomon, one of my most ardent supporters, says, good job. Thank you very much, King Solomon. I really appreciate that. Howard County, same thing. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on. Hey, Topher, welcome on in to chat. And welcome, Howard County. Really appreciate it. Hey, Howard County, I hope you check out, I don't know if you checked out the Sergeant Makes YouTube History video, but check it out. It's some good police content for you. Sergeant Douglas gets his ass reamed by KDOT, pretty much is the gist of it. But there's something that happens in that video that I've never seen happen before. He called the manager on himself. That's why I put the Karen haircut on him. Nez Lover again, sweet with the emojis. Thank you very much, Nez. Appreciate the comment. Smeghead, my good friend Smeghead, says somebody got his arse slapped on YouTube. He certainly did get a piece of our mind, and especially KDOT. KDOT was absolutely on fire in that video. KDOT is fire, period. Ellie, if you wouldn't mind putting KDOT's link in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. KDOT is, I believe, up to almost 22,000 subscribers. So, I mean, his channel is just catching fire. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I know most of my subscribers are subscribed to him. I have a meek, channel, but I have an ardent following. But KDOT is absolutely catching fire. He's he's just an all-time great in my opinion, and I love him. All right, one off. Here's an interesting comment, guys, and I want to talk a little bit about this. Oh, thank you, Ellie. You're always 2 steps ahead, Ellie. So there you go. Let's see. What else do we got? Okay. You should at least be professional when you do these interactions. Just saying. Let me read KDOT's comment to that, and then I'm going to comment on those comments. KDOT says, being a professional private citizen, wow, I'll look that up. There's a little bit of snark in there, but I don't want to take a snarky take on this, but I understand what KDOT is saying. How are we supposed to act, one off? And this is a serious question. I hope you're listening, and I hope you comment on this video so we can have a back and forth good dialogue. I've had this conversation with KDOT before. When I first got into this, I tried to be nice and courteous and, kept my tone down and everything that you're supposed to be doing. But I quickly came to the conclusion that absolutely nothing gets done. Now, I understand that you need to keep your cool, like in situations where you're getting arrested, because if there's a trial, juries prefer you to be calm, cool, collective, professional, however you want to call it. But there are times when your displeasure needs to be known. And this was absolutely a time based on the information that we've gained. Now, since then, we've come across even more information that would infuriate you even more. If you knew half of what we knew about Sergeant Douglas, and we will have another panel on Sergeant Douglas, make no mistake, we are going to expose even more BS that's going on with Sergeant Douglas and his evaluations and the way that there's a lot of copy and pasting. There's inconsistencies with dates on his evaluations. He's gotten away with a lot, up to and including not being reprimanded for letting one of his officers sleep on the job. So there is so much infuriating information in his file, one off, that I think if you knew the full shebang, so to speak, then you would probably be, or maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you would be I'm not accusing you of being a bootlicker, but bootlickers would be like, what's the problem? Like, stuff like that happens all the time. I could just hear it right now, but there's a lot. So, there's just keep that in mind. All right. I feel like MLH doesn't read the things I post half the time. How dare you, Ellie? I read everything. Let's see. No drama. Yeah, there's definitely no drama here. I try to keep it no drama as much as possible. Professional requires a tie and button-up shirt and a buzz cut. Not always, Fab Daddy. Not always. Sergeant Cover-Up. That's exactly right, Jonathan. Sergeant Cover-Up Douglas is his name, and he will forever be known by that. His hair is in the way of his eye. How dare you? What's truth? Another panel with K.MLH and myself about Sergeant Douglas is coming soon. Yes, and yes. And you guys, you have no idea how much inconsistencies are in his files. And to boot, here's another thing that's infuriating and just upsets me, right? We paid for this information. KDOT paid $66. I paid $33, and that's how we're going to do it. We're putting our money together to get you more, and I put in plenty more requests. So there is going to be I don't know when it's going to come because they're giving me the runaround. You know how they do it. But Sergeant Douglas's file is inconsistent, and not only that, I'm missing about 4 years worth of material on his file. So just yesterday, I went to City Hall and I talked to the city clerk's office and I said, I need one of two things. I need his complete files or I want my money back, because I'm not going to be paying hard-earned money to get incomplete files. And this is you guys' issue, because this is another thing they're doing. They're separating requests from CORA requests, which is basically Colorado's version of FOIA request, and CCJRA, which are Colorado Criminal Justice Records Act requests. So Aurora is doing it differently than Denver. Denver, you don't have to worry. You put in your request and you get the information. And most times in Denver, you don't have to pay. But for some reason in Aurora, they have a lot more to cover up, apparently. So they put up these paywalls, they obfuscate, they give you the runaround. And I'm getting the runaround in more ways than one in getting files. So, just trust me, but I'm bulldoggish on this. I'm going to get the information. It's what I do. So we're doing it the right way. If you want to talk about professional manner, I am definitely professional when it comes to the city clerk's office, because those ladies are very nice. They know what they're doing, and they don't. I don't think they're intentionally giving me the runaround, but I am getting the runaround on this particular one. So just trust me when I say I'm working on it. Bernie's in chat. What's up, Bernie? Nice to have you in here. Government motto: deny, defer, and deflect, Jonathan says. Yes. Oh boy. It's really crazy. Ellie put in a link in there. If you guys are interested in helping us out, I'm not that guy that's always e-begging for money for stuff, but any money that you guys and gals put into that link that Ellie put in there goes directly to getting FOIA requests and all kinds of requests. It's either that or gas. Those are the two things. I'm either on the road or I'm getting information. Same thing with KDOT. That's what our money is being poured into, is getting information and getting records, and they're not cheap. They charge $33 an hour, and they always say that things take for some reason it takes 3 hours to redact a social security number and an address. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I can never get them to admit exactly why it takes so long for these things. I've asked the city clerk's office, I've asked the records department and the police station, I've asked officers that are in charge of things there, and nobody gives me a straight answer. Like Officer or Sergeant Cook gave me an answer that, it's the AI program that takes so long and blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't want to pay for the AI program to look at things. I want to pay for a human being to look at it, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and not charge me for these things. That's what I would prefer. But, they always have to charge you for 2 or 3 hours worth of labor or even more. And to boot, body cams. Body cams are even worse. And I can understand why body cams would take a little bit of time, because you got to, redact some stuff. You got to blur out, some personal information, stuff like that. Also, you got to cover up, you got to cover up, your crimes and stuff. So it takes a long time. That's just my feelings. Walter, welcome into chat. Thanks for being in there. You snuck in there. Thanks for being in here. I think maybe, possibly, allegedly, speculatively, that the mustache fella has gotten to him notice whose name has not been saying. Oh, there's something. There might be something to that. What's truth? We pay them to do the job, and they want to charge us to do the job, Jonathan says. I never understood it, Jonathan. Why are public records, why do they charge us for public records? This should come directly out of our tax dollars, right? I mean, we pay, you're right, we pay them so that they could charge us for information that's already ours. Like, it's the most crazy, insane, stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. Denver's slightly better at it. Aurora is terrible about information. It's just crazy. But wait for it, Jonathan, because man, oh man, I know I'm going to have way more shit to give to you guys as soon as I get it. I've got CCJRA requests, which they're telling me is going to take 20 weeks to get. So it might be a little while before I get that information, like criminal records and disciplinary actions and, stuff, written reprimands. All that stuff should be coming to me hopefully within 20 weeks. And I played their game. You know what they did? The CCJRA requests are weird because they want your first and last name and your signature for it. But nowhere in the statute does it say they require first and last name, just your signature. But they're playing hardball. And I really don't give a shit because they know who I am already. I should be able to do it anonymously, but they're giving me a hard time with that. So I am, I hesitate to say fed up, because you know what feeds me is the information and knowing that you guys want the information. And it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna stop. So if the only barrier is my signature, you know what I did? I was so mad because they denied my request because I had already signed for it, and they told me I could get it if I signed for it. But they said I didn't have my first and last name on there, and for pre-functionary gain, meaning if I can't make any money off of that particular information. So I'll play their stupid game, and not only that, I'll be legal. So when I do talk about the other information I get from the CCJRA request, I'm not going to monetize. So that way there's no way their lawyers can say, oh, well, this guy is getting money from this. So I'll play their stupid game. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. I mean, that's how I feel. Okay. Let's see. Let me go through comments here. Let's see. Say his name, MLH Mustachio. Say it so you can't. He won't even let you get trim. Mustachio doesn't own me. What's truth? I just avoid the dude. I didn't choke up. How dare you? What's truth? Walter Davis says part of the long time frame for request is people not doing their job and having to justify their time. 100, Walter. Thank you for that comment. That's an important comment. Howard County Observer, I hear Arkansas is the worst. I'm glad I don't live in Arkansas, Howard County, but maybe I'll take a road trip that one day and find out. Actually, I don't know if I want to, man. They're super racist in Arkansas, man, and my skin's a little darker than than some people. So you know what I'm saying. Right, we get charged for paper they print off on a paper. We pay for the paper and they get a salary already. LOL. I mean, it's crazy what's truth. I mean, I've been dealing with a bunch of shit. All right, here's Ellie. She says, Sergeant Douglas had an annual review based on 4 days out of 365 days. First part was for helping a few hours with the Thanksgiving dinner, and the other was for planning a baseball game with the boys in blue. Yeah, I mean, his file is so thick, full of BS, Ellie. Like, I can't wait till we have that panel, because it's going to be something else. In my opinion, that's double dipping, Transparency Time says. 100, Transparency. That's a great comment. What did he do the other 361 days, Ellie said? Oh, probably let people sleep on the job, Ellie. I mean, that's proven already. Howard County says that's definitely double dipping. Jonathan says, where the heck do they get 20 weeks? Oh, Jonathan, trust me, when I get that information, it's going to be one hell of a panel, and we'll probably take extra time on that one. Boiled Corruption says, I've seen other places charge 10 cents per paper page, but all tax funded. I mean, can you get any more brash than that, Howard County? It's crazy. It's crazy. You want me to refresh? Okay, I'll refresh real quick. Let's see. Maybe this will help. What the hell's going on here? Oh, you got more, Howard County. Cool. Okay. Thumbs up on the MLH and KDOT versus security. Thanks, Howard County. Appreciate that. And Sergeant Douglas is doing us wrong. Yes, he is. Trust me on that. He really is. I mean, it's crazy. All right. Let's see. What else did I see here? Why is playing baseball with friends on your personal time even on a review? Your personal life should never be on a review. Ellie, thank you for pointing that out, because when we have this panel, that is one thing that is egregiously wrong with this guy's evaluation. Why is anything personal on these evaluations? Period. It's totally crazy. Let's see. What else? How dare we ask our government to work, Fab Daddy says. Exactly. All right, let's see if we have any held for review comments. I usually have one or two in there. Okay, so here we go. Here's a couple. Edward Strickland, 2 days ago on the Sergeant Makes YouTube History video. It kind of caught fire, that video, a little bit. So, and the only reason that this was on the held for review, Edward, is I have a series of words that are blocked that I review myself. So here's the comment in its entirety. They talk about officer safety. They put their safety at risk when they do. Pussy, bully, bullshit. I agree with you, Edward, 100%, and I will approve that comment. Normally, I try to keep all the bad words out because, YouTube and their stupid algorithms, and I don't ever want to, lose my channel due to a bunch of bad words, I mean, it is what it is. Same thing with the chats. Same thing with the chats. If you guys are in my chats, you try not to. I mean, you could use those words, but just, put in stars or whatever. I know what you guys are saying. So, I don't want YouTube BS is the thing. I mean, you see how they are. But thank you, Edward, for that comment. Greg Corner says, America has gone to shit and we can't do anything about it. I disagree with that, Greg Corner. I understand the sentiment, but there are things you can do. You can get out your camera, as long as you're within safe distance. I mean, there's been other quote unquote auditors or First Amendment people, Second Amendment people, whatever, that have taken their cameras out and have shown that at the very least you're going to be exposed for the pieces of shit that you are. So that's just how it goes. Thank you so much, Greg, for the comment. I do appreciate it. Let's go back to published here, see if there's anything. Let me give that and that. There we go. Cool. And then let's go to, let me go back here. Okay, we're good. Good. Okay, let's see any mentions, and then I'll give you guys a quick update on everything and all that good fun stuff. All right, my good friend KDOT mentioned me in his, I believe that he did a shorter version of one of our videos. and he titled it "Loser" or something. But it's a great video. He titled it "KDOT and MLH hold Sergeant Douglas accountable for a cover-up." Thanks, KDOT, for mentioning me. I really do appreciate it. TN Accountability mentioned me in a post. At 7, here's the deal, Johnny 50, blah, 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 MLH. I don't know what this post is. I haven't had a chance to look at it, TN, but I will look at it after the show, I promise. And then buddy of mine, Horizon City News Service, mentioned me. Denver's housing market continues to stabilize in February. That is true. The market here is stabilizing because it's becoming untenable, to be honest with you. So, it's crazy. All right, that's it for that. Let me transition back here. So there are the comments. Let me go over the comments in chat, and then we'll talk about the upcoming week and everything that's going on and stuff like that. Okay. They played ball in uniform and on the clock, Fab Daddy says. Oh, boy. That's probably true, Fab Daddy. Jonathan says, use the symbols. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, guys and gals. I'm definitely a First Amendment guy, and I know it's stupid and petty and all that, and, why did I do that and all that stuff. I get it. But, YouTube is a private entity, and they have a right to do pretty much whatever they want, and I don't want to be a victim of just too much bad words causes me to lose my channel. That's it. It's pretty simple. And people are pretty used to it by now. I mean, nobody really has a problem in chats or in comments or anything like that. Fab Daddy, that is possible. But the person who wrote the review said, and I quote, on a personal note, a personal note should never appear on annual work performance review. Couldn't agree with you more, Ellie. Always correct, Fab Daddy says. Yes, Ellie is 0.9999% correct most of the time. Walter Davis, I'm at the farm. One of my mother's chickens gets out of the pen and wanders around. I just rewarded her for her love of life through dangerous freedom with some bread. Walter, I couldn't be more apropos, right? In addition, several reviews were done based on 11 months, not 12 months, and was written by someone who only supervised Sergeant Douglas for 4 months. Why was he not reviewed on all 12 months? You know what? That's those are great points, Ellie. There was one year in there in his incomplete file that I paid for that he became sergeant and was reviewed. I believe it was for 7 months. Ellie, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but it's totally insane what we're paying for. Most of the responses I get on post I can't even read because YouTube has blocked. You see what I'm saying, Jonathan? That's exactly what I'm saying. All right, let's review the week ahead, guys. So, it was probably 3 days ago I put in for a ton more requests regarding this Sergeant Douglas and peripheral people. The newest comment thing messes things up. I know, Howard County. Okay, Howard County, I was sent his reviews and asked to review them. It was horrifying what I discovered. I mean, it's crazy, Ellie, isn't it? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Sergeant Douglas and the other requests that I put in. You guys realize that we'll be back. Let's see. Yeah, we should be back. Give me a 1 if we're back, y'all, before I start talking about this. If we're back, just hit a 1 for me, just so I know, and then I'll talk about this Sergeant Douglas thing, and then we'll wrap things up. Okay, cool. All right. It's crazy. The only reason that I put in a request for Sergeant Douglas is because he was an asshole to me and to KDOT one day. We were going in for a completely separate issue, which I'm not done with. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about former officer Douglas Haroon, who was on leave because of an officer-involved shooting, and he beat the shit out of a disabled person, right? So we simply wanted his badge number, and we couldn't get it from the ladies up front because he had been fired. And KDOT knew, and I knew that he had been fired, but we still wanted his badge number for our records, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So we get the runaround from Sergeant Douglas. I know it's kind of hard to keep track. Douglas Haroon, Sergeant Douglas, whatever. But Sergeant Douglas was a complete asshole. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to get his files because there's a reason he's behind the glass and at a desk. He's a sergeant and he's not on in the field. There's got to be something there. So sure enough, I put in those files, and even though we got partial files, we found a lot. And I'm still waiting for more files. So I put in for those files, and I put in for more files. And from those evaluations, I put in for the person that wrote up his latest evaluation where he was caught covering up for a sleepy officer. So I put in for the guy that did the evaluations, which, by the way, was exceptional. For some reason, this guy gets really exceptional ratings, even though he covers up a lot of shit. And I also put in for the division chief. So Officer Terry Brown or Sergeant Terry Brown or whatever rank he's got, I've got coming. You guys can expect that. You can expect some more files from the division chief, Jed Lanigan, who's another gem. I mean, there's so many gems in the Aurora Police Department, guys and gals. Just wait for it. And I'm on the verge of breaking a big story in regards to the hiring process. I need to dig a little bit further there. I'm on the verge of breaking a big story when it comes to evaluations and the way that they evaluate their employees, their police officers. So I'm working on big stories with the city of Aurora. And by the way, KDOT and I, and KDOT is too, so just keep that in mind. KDOT and I are working on these things together, in between working on so much stuff, guys and gals. So we're working hard, and there's a lot to uncover, and there's a lot to be said about the hiring process. Like I said, the evaluation process. The corruption runs deep within the city of Aurora, just like it does in Denver. Aurora just for some reason gets in the national spotlight more times than not because they do stupid things like kill people, beat up people. I don't know if you guys saw the video where this guy got slammed face first into the ground while he was handcuffed for doing nothing. Well, there's reasons. So we're trying to get to the bottom on a lot of stuff. For your information, Ellie says, Officer Haroon was on administrative paid leave when he assaulted that disabled woman. Police officers should not be paid when they are on suspension. I couldn't agree with you more, Ellie. I reestablished the bell thing. Hopefully it works. Thanks, Howard County. I appreciate that. Keep up the great work on exposing the dirty police, boiled corruption. Says, well, I'm doing what I can do, boiled corruption, and I won't stop. Even though they've tried to intimidate me. When I went to Denver to ask for Officer Ramos's files, you guys, I couldn't record in there because I would have been arrested. But I will challenge that at some later date, and that may end up being my first arrest ever. I don't know. I hope not, because that sign that they have in the lobby is absolutely ridiculous and means nothing. But they still have a pennant to arrest people for such indignities like recording our government officials. So I will be challenging that later. That's going to be at a later date. But when I went down there to ask for information, I wasn't recording. And they knew whose records I was asking for. I was asking for Officer Ramos's records. And boy, oh boy, did they send out the cavalry for that. 8 people surrounded me. 8 officers. And 2 lawyers came down. And they were trying to give me a hard time, saying I couldn't get his personnel files and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I looked at the lawyer in her face and I said, you realize what you just told me is absolutely wrong, right? I am entitled to his personnel files because they're public. Anything that's public, I will get. And I'm going to put in a request with you, and I expect you to go into that back room there, give me a copy with your name on it, so that way I know who to hold accountable when this gets lost. So I was playing hardball, and I always will play hardball. And it could be to my detriment, but I don't care. K-Dot and I have both come to the conclusion that we will take a bullet if necessary to get you guys the information. Let's see. Paid leave is kind of gray area stuff. If the investigation shows the cop was clean, they should be paid. Every time they fire their gun, it's investigated. I understand that, Walter, but so then they should make a distinction. While you're on this administrative leave, you're not going to get paid unless you were found not guilty of stuff. Maybe that's a fair compromise there, Walter. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Fab Daddy says YouTube vlogger / journalist / independent police monitor / movie writer, etc. Yes, I have a lot of titles, Fab Daddy. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. Beating up someone in handcuffs is also investigated and should not be paid. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of stuff, lots of nuance there. Lots of nuance. I don't even know where to start. But I am starting, and Aurora is my focus right now, and I'm laser focused, y'all. I mean, you have no idea. I put in requests. I put in CCJR request. I put in a total of 9 in one day. So it's going to cost a pretty penny. So, because they like charging you for, to keep you from getting the information that we deserve. We deserve this information. This is our information. We deserve this information. So just keep an eye on all of that. This week upcoming, I may do some homeless outreach. I think the next homeless outreach I will put on video, because it's been a while since I put my homeless outreach videos online. But I think I'm going to do that for you guys. Also, what else do I got? Today, right after this show, I'm going to be breaking up my script. I completed the script, but I'm for the movie that I'll be doing in a couple of months, hopefully a couple months. I'm really hoping to get this thing shot and done and chopped up and out to you guys, so you guys can see my work. I will be basically putting all the scenes into categories, so it makes it easier when I go to shoot. I can just shoot the movie and not have to worry about where I'm going and what I'm doing and all that junk. It's almost a logistical nightmare on a couple of the scenes. I'm gonna have to be real creative in how I shoot it, but nonetheless, so that's what I'll be doing the rest of today. Tomorrow I'll be going out with K-Dot doing location scouting, so that way I can figure out where we're gonna shoot certain scenes, and that way I have a good idea when we go to shoot it, we can actually shoot the thing. I also need actors. If you're in the Denver metro area and you don't even need acting experience, I just need bodies to fill roles. So if you're in the Denver metro area, please email me, mexicanlonghair@gmail.com. I will be going to hopefully some local colleges here and asking for people to volunteer for the most part to do this movie. I can't afford to pay everybody, but I will pay for food. I mean that's the least that I can do. So, all right, let me read the comments and then we'll go ahead and end here. As far as the rest of the week goes, it's going to be more. K-Dot and I might do cop watching after we do location scouting tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. And then we'll do here and there during the week if we can bring you some guys some great comments. So there you go. Okay. Let's see. Let me read the comments here. Paid them only when they're truly cleared of wrong. Yeah, see, I agree. I totally agree with you, Ellie. Let's get it right. It's not paid administrative leave. It's paid vacation. That's true. Transparency time. MLH has a wide variety. I try to have a wide... See, this is why my channel is kind of unique, guys and gals. I try to have a wide variety of stuff. I don't necessarily want to be pegged as any one thing. I don't want to be pegged as purely a First Amendment auditor. I don't want to be pegged as, you know, whatever. I want to do my thing. And that way you guys have a variety of content to go through and pick out what you want to watch and what you don't want to watch. You know, it's just, it's a unique channel. Let's just put it that way. Our law, whether followed or not, is innocent until proven guilty. Sucks it's applied unevenly, Walter says. Yeah, I totally agree. Transparency time, also the time is never taken from them when they are not cleared. Nobody makes them pay the taxpayers back the money. That's, you know, Ellie, it's another great point. Gee, you guys are on fire in chat today. My son has been ambushed and fired back, paid leave/vacation. Yeah, and cleared. Yeah. Fun fact, when police are found guilty of a crime, their sentence is not the same as if it was a regular citizen. Oh, no question. If they even get a sentence, Ellie, you know, that's, there you go. Fab Daddy says, hot tub. You know what? Let me speak on that real quick, Fab Daddy. There hasn't been a hot tub in a while for a reason. And that is because Bernie has been working her ass off and has only had 1 day a week off. So it will settle down, Fab Daddy, and hot tub will be returning, although there is news on that front. I'll share it with you. I'm going to move hot tub to Bernie's channel. So if you're not sub to Bernie, please sub. And that's where hot tub will eventually move to. I think it's more appropriate for her channel than my channel right now. Even though I really enjoy doing it and it's fun, and it seems like a natural progression to leave it to her channel. That's going to make her channel grow, I think, a little bit. And, you know, whereas my channel would kind of be more along the lines of a serious channel. Her channel is going to be, you know, the channel for fun time and stuff like that. And let's grow her channel. I mean, that's what I do anyway. So let's do that. I'm not allowed in the hot tub, Howard. Why not, Howard County? Everybody's allowed in the hot tub. Ellie says, fun fact, what jobs are you trained, allowed, and encouraged to lie? Government, military, and police. Funny that, isn't it, Ellie? Walter Davis says, sometimes the cops are charged worse if the news gets hold of the story. Can Bernie's link get put up? I'm sure Ellie can accommodate that. And on cue, there it is. Thank you for subbing to that channel in particular. Can have a hot tub without Bernie B. That's absolutely correct, Jonathan. I would never do hot tub without Bernie B. Hot tub was Bernie B's idea to begin with. So you have Bernie B to thank for that. We have a ton of fun. It's adult hour, no doubt. But I always put a disclaimer at the beginning of that. And, you know, because I did get a little bit of criticism, you know, well, you know, why didn't you tell us that this was this? You know, it's not for everybody. I mean, some people don't like to talk about sex and, you know, some of the things that go along with adult type topics. And I fully understand that. But, you know, there's room for everybody on every, you know, if that's not for you, there's always other stuff on the channel. So is what I'm really trying to say. But anyways, just realize that KDOT and I are working very hard to get you guys some very pertinent information. We're trying to change the Aurora Police Department for the better, and the Denver Police Department and the Denver metro area. I think we do a better job than anybody in the Denver metro area of getting you guys information and sparking change. I know it doesn't seem that way right now, but we're slowly turning the tide. Two dudes that are asking questions, asking all the right questions, and getting results. So we're exposing a lot. We're exposing the record. I mean, just yesterday I was giving the city clerk the 1-2 because, you know, I was like, how is somebody that's disabled at their house supposed to get this information if they don't have a computer? You know, and this is the reason why. I mean, I can't tell you guys the number of times that I put in requests into the computer for police that have somehow magically disappeared. But if you show up with a piece of paper with your request on it, whether it's their form or your own form, and you put somebody's name on there, magically you get stuff done. Because if people are knowing that they're being held accountable with their name on it, then things go in the right direction. Let's just put it that way. So, it is what it is. All right, let's take a look at comments. And, my wife gives me the side eye when I watch Hot Tub. Well, bring your wife in, Howard County. It's all good, man. She's welcome there, too. I've had to turn it off when the kids walk. Yes, Walter. I mean, totally understandable. And that's why I always make a kind of, and I try to do it a little bit later because I understand, sometimes, I mean, you have kids in the room, you don't necessarily want them hearing about the things that are on Hot Tub. But I try my best. I have personally been trying to get Hot Tub to Bernie's channel forever. Yay. I know, Ellie. I know. Just not the right time. You know what I'm saying? It's not for everybody, for sure. But it's for a lot of people. It allows people to kind of let their hair down and talk about stuff that they normally wouldn't talk about. And in a mostly anonymous way. So anyways, I want to thank you guys. I very rarely get the opportunity to thank you guys for your support, truly. I really do thank you guys for everything. I thank you guys for the comments. I thank you guys for subscribing and keeping that subscription. I not only want to earn your subscription, I want to keep it, so keep that in mind. And if you enjoy the content, please, the only way that my channel is really going to grow is by word of mouth. So if you guys are talking to people and you enjoy the content and they're the type of people that would enjoy my content, then turn them onto the channel. Show them the channel on your phone. Share the link, on your phones. I mean, everybody's got smartphones nowadays. Not hard to share the channel. When I started this channel, it was very grassroots, and it remains that way to this day. My channel is purely grassroots, word of mouth. Sometimes, people will hear me on other channels and are curious and will sub to me that way. That's great. But it's always organic, right? I've never have bought one sub. I know that there's a few channels out there that when they first started were like 10,000 subs and, had no content. Well, where did they get their subs? They obviously bought them. So I don't buy subs. I don't condone that behavior. I think it's a false platform to build your channel. So, but anyway, Ashley, welcome on in. Thank you for being in here. I really appreciate that. So anyways, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for everything, because it means a lot to me. I mean, my channel, I was thrilled when I hit 50. That was my goal. And I've told that story before. And now we're, on our way up again. We hit kind of a lull there at 3K, but we're slowly but surely going back up. So, again, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, and gals. And continue watching, because there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff going forward. So, with that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you're struggling with mental health, make sure you reach out to somebody that you know, love, and trust. In lieu of that, my email is mexicanlonghair@gmail.com. I'm not a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or a counselor, but I do listen, and sometimes that's all that matters. But if I don't get back to you in a timely fashion, just remember, somebody out there thinks you're their favorite. Hold on to that thought. It could save your life. Be kind to others. Be kind to your family. But most importantly, be kind to yourself. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys very soon. Take care, everybody. See you on the next video.